I'm the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So, recently, a suspicious piece of technology was discovered on the Fairy Kingdom planet, and the AdMech got wind of it and decided to send a force out to investigate. I'm not going to say STC because I don't have the models to make that kind of an invasion, but a small grouping of models for the invasion. The Eldar are already at the castle where this technology was found, and they sure don't want to give it up, so they're definitely gonna be a fighting force today. These are some objective markers that I whipped up, I don't know, a month or two ago maybe. Just some D10s glued to some lids with some gravel on them. Pretty nice and easy. Today's experience will be centered mostly around this castle here, hopefully. The suspicious piece of technology is placed here mostly at the very top. A suspiciously empty gnome village is empty here. Suspiciously empty. Alright, I've been talking about it. There will be, honest to God, some melee combat inside this castle this game. I swear. The AdMech will be deploying on this side. The eldar will be defending-ish from the castle area. So we have today's eldar force for the defending the castle against the AdMech. Farseer, who knows Fortune and Executioner. A 10-man squad of Guardian Defenders with a heavy support platform thingy. 2 5-man squads of Dire Avengers. 2 Warlocks who like each other a whole lot. One knows Enhance and the other knows Protect. Alright, so I still haven't been able to... There it is. Super glue is not working on this guy, so I'm going to have to drill out the hole and redo it that way. So until that happens, this Reaver over here is going to be a Wind Rider. So we've got 2 groups of 3 Wind Riders. A 5-man squad of the Wraithblades with the swords and not the axes. A Wraith Lord with the Eldar missile launcher and a Bright Lance, along with the Ghost Glaive thingy. A Spirit Seer, who knows Jinx. And my Wraith Knight, which pretty much has everything. It's got the Shuriken Cannon, the Heavy Wraith Cannon, and something else. Maybe 2 other things. It's got most of the guns. All the guns. It doesn't have a really good save though, so it's probably gonna die. But that'll be the Eldar. Alright, so we got a pretty goodly sized AdMech technology seeking force here. Belisarius Call with his follow behind. A Typriest Dominus and an Engine Seer. 10 Skitarii Vanguard. 10 Skitarii Rangers. 2 of the Castellan Robots. 3 Cataphan Breachers. 5 Sicarian Ruststalkers. The Scorpius Dunestrider. And then 3 Armiger Warglaives with the Iron Strider Ballistari. So, normally I put either the Vanguard or the Rangers into the transport, but they don't have far to go. So I think it'll just be fighting as this weird vehicle thing today. We'll see how it goes. Alright, I'm going to set these guys up, and we're going to have a good time today because somebody's going to die in that castle. Alright, so the Eldar have arrayed themselves on and around the castle here. We got the Wraith contingent over here with the Wraithblades, the Wraith Lord, the Wraith Knight, and the Spirit Seer. Up on top by the suspicious piece of technology, we have one of the squads of Dire Avengers and the Farseer. In the back here, we have the 2 groups of Wind Riders. And then the 10-man squad of Guardian Defenders and their support thing, plus the 2 Warlocks that are friends that just like each other. And then the AdMech just got set up in a line. All the armigers here on the far left, I guess it is. The Dominants behind them, the Ruststalkers with the Rangers behind them, and the Iron Strider kind of here, sort of towards the middle. Call and his little buddy in the middle. The 2 Castle robots with the Vanguard behind them. Put the transport over here because I think it'll be funny. And then the Breachers on the far end there. Alright, so the Eldar failed to steal, so the AdMech get to go first. So, movement. So, the canonical for this turn is the Benediction of the Omnissiah, which allows them to reroll 1s to hit in the shooting phase. So, everybody but the armigers gets that bonus. So, the Securian Ruststalkers and these Rangers and these Vanguard all advanced forward. Everybody else just moved forward. They moved pretty far. These Armored Warglaives go 14 on, like, above 8, I think, ones. So that's just super crazy for a big middling unit like that. And no psychics, so we'll go into the shooting phase. This should be fun. Alright, so that was pretty crazy. A whole lot of stuff just died. These 2 armigers killed off 2 of these Wraithblades. This armiger killed 3 of the Dire Avengers. And it was a combined effort. The Castle robots, the transport thingy, the Dune Strider, and the Breachers over there all managed to kill off 7 of the Guardian Defenders. There's nobody over here to charge, so I rolled morale. Of course, you know, I rolled a 6. So, yeah, the last 3 Guardian Defenders absolutely ran away. Yeah, that was craziness. That being said, that'll make it the Eldar turn. So, movement. Alright, so the Eldar kind of got a little kicked in the nuts a little bit on that first turn, so hopefully their first turn can be a little bit better. So all these Wraith-like units, including the Spirits here, just moved forward to get closer to these Armigers and these Ruststalkers. The unit of Dire Avengers that was on the bridge moved up here to this second floor balcony. Everybody up here is just going to stay up here. So the Wind Riders moved up where the, they advanced up to where the Guardian Defenders were, and then the Warlocks just kind of rearranged themselves behind them. So for the Psychic phase, the Warlocks have Enhance and Protect, so they're going to try and put Enhance and Protect on that front group of Wind Riders. I think both go off on a 6. So the Enhance goes off. The Protect does not. So they got a +1 to hit, I think. I'll look that up in a second. Alright, so they both had a Warp Charge of 7, so the Enhance still let off, the Protect still did not. The Enhance gives them the ability to reroll 1s in the fight phase. They're going to add 1 to hit rolls in the fight phase for that front group of Wind Riders. Alright, so now we got that figured out. Back to shooting, I guess. Alright, so the Wraith Knight and the Wraith Lord performed as expected. The Wraith Knight did a bunch of damage to the Armiger here, and this guy didn't do squat. These guys shot at the Ruststalkers down here, didn't do anything. The front group of Wind Riders over here did a little bit of damage to one of the Breachers, but the ones behind them are just out of range. So the charge phase. So the Wraith Lord is definitely going to charge into the Rust Stalkers. These Wraith Blades are definitely going to charge into the Armature that's right here. No, that's a lie. They're going to charge into that Armature so that the Wraith Knight can try and charge into this Armature. Alright, that sounds good. So, charge and fight phase. Okay, so the white dice definitely love the AdMech today. The Wraith Lord didn't even make it in. The Wraith Knight and the Wraith Blades did. Somehow, this guy killed off 2 of the Wraith Blades in Overwatch. This guy didn't take any damage from Overwatch, but their fight was pretty epic. This guy killed off the remaining Wraith Blade, so they're dead. These guys traded blows. 5 damage, I think, on the Warglaive and 3 on the Wraith Knight. So that was a nice little exchange. No morale for anybody, so that makes it the AdMech turn. Movement. Alright, so pretty much everybody just moved forward. This Armature that was in combat fell back. The dumbass healed this Armature for a little bit. The Engine Seer over there just completely healed the Breacher. Belisarius ain't got no one to heal. Sad panda. No psychics, so AdMech shooting. The dice that I'm using for AdMech today are definitely on point for them. Craziness. Yeah, so this Armature just went ahead and killed off the 2 remaining Dire Avengers that were over there. Between the Breachers and the Scorpius thingy, all of the Wind Riders died. And then the Castellan robots killed off 1 of the Warlocks. It was craziness. Which will take us to the charge phase. So I guess the Rust Stalkers into the Wraith Lord, the Armature here, into the Wraith Lord as well. And then this hella damaged Armature into the Wraith Knight. Yeah, that should be good. So all of the AdMech units made their charge. Nobody took any damage in Overwatch. The Armature that did used to formerly sit here did a couple points of damage to the Wraith Knight before it just tore it apart with its bare hands, I guess. These guys did a couple points of damage to the Wraith Lord, and he managed to kill off 1 of the Rust Stalkers. But he took a lot of damage this turn. Alright, so AdMech came back with a vengeance again. Alright. So that'll make it the Eldar turn for movement. Things are looking pretty dire for the Eldar right now. The Wraith Lord has fallen back to the hill. Spirit Seer has moved back with him. Wraith Knight's just gonna hang out and shoot stuff. That's what he does. These guys are starting to realize the current situation and how bad it is. And our last remaining Warlock is advancing back towards the castle. I hope he makes it. Psychic phase. Alright, so the Farseer here is going to try and manifest Fortune on the Wraith Lord here. It goes off on a 7, which is what I rolled. So the Wraith Lord now has a 5-0 feel no pain if he takes damage. So we're going to try and do Executioner on these. The nearest enemy unit is this guy. That also goes off on a 7. That one's not as lucky, that's only a 6. Alright, so Eldar shooting phase then. So not a whole lot of things can really shoot here. The Wraith Knight did a little bit of damage to the Warglaive here. Nobody up here is within range to shoot anything. Spirit Seer shot at the Rust Stalkers and failed to hit anything. The charge phase, I'm loath to charge with this Wraith Knight because I know he's probably going to die. Oh well, you only live a couple times, right? I guess we'll have a multi-charge into the Dominus, the Warglaive, and the Iron Strider. And come back and see how that looks out. Alright, I knew it was a terrible decision and I still made it. He definitely did not make his charge, but the Armiger managed to do 6 damage to him in Overwatch, so that was not a good trade-off. Especially since it's now the AdMech turn. Yeah, this may or may not be the end of it. I don't know. Probably won't be the end of it because they still got to make it up to the suspicious piece of technology. So maybe 2 turns left. I don't know. AdMech's turn, so movement. Alright, so pretty much everybody is either at the base of the castle or about to kill the Wraith Knight. The Vanguard over there advanced forward to get kind of close to everybody. Choosing not to do a canonical this turn, so no psychic phase. So the AdMech shooting phase. I expect a lot of death here in a second. So I absolutely love it when I have like, man, that was like the first time that's ever happened before. Kind of stuff happened to me while I'm filming a game. So the 2 Armigers did a whole lot of damage to the Wraith Knight. And then the Iron Strider killed it off. And I rolled a 6 to see if it explodes. And it definitely exploded. It wasn't a whole lot of range, but it was enough, the full 6 for the actual damage. 6 inches, all units within 6 took 6 damage, which killed off another Warglaive and did 6 damage to this thing. So I've never had a Wraith Knight explode before. I've definitely lost him in combat, but it was nice to see an explosion. Having said that, the Rangers here did a little bit of damage to the Wraith Lord. And it took a little while because invulnerable saves and stuff, but between the transport, whose name I can never remember, and the breachers there, they did manage to kill off the remaining warlock that was trying to get to the safety of the castle. Poor guy, didn't have a chance. Alright, so for charges, I guess these Rust Stalkers are going to charge into the Wraith Lord up here. Alright, well, charging up a hill is always kind of dicey because of the adding 3 inches and whatnot, so they didn't make their charge and he didn't do any damage in Overwatch, so kind of a funny situation all around, I guess. That'll make it the Eldar turn for movement. Alright, so I rolled really high on the advanced rolls. So the Wraith Lord and the Spirit Seer just managed to somehow climb the tower here. So all of the remaining Eldar are up here on the top now. So Psychic phase, I guess the Farseer will do Fortune, I guess, on the Spirit Seer there in front. Goes off on a 7. Gets it with a 10, so Spirit Seer now gets the 5-up Feel No Pain if he's taking damage roll thing. I don't see him making it that far this turn, but who knows. That's all they're going to do. They're just going to fall back and hope that they can hold against all the craziness coming their way. I would hope so, because there's a lot of craziness coming. Having said that, that'll make it the AdMech's turn for movement. Alright, so the Iron Strider is just going to stay where he's at. The armature just kind of moved back a little bit to get a better range of view of sight of that Wraith Lord up there. The Ruststalkers have moved over here with the intention of charging a long charge up the side of the castle. Vanguard and the Rangers all just moved up. The castle and robots advanced to get to this front entrance here. The transport, the unnamed, the unknown, the unremembered transport advanced to get way up there. The creatures just kind of moved forward, as did the instance here. So for shooting, it's just going to be these two guys shooting at the Wraith Lord. Alright, so the AdMech dice might be starting to slow down a little bit. Both of these guys managed to get hits on the Wraith Lord, but both failed to wound. So the charge phase. These Ruststalkers are going to try really, really hard to charge into the spirits here. So the Ruststalkers failed to charge into these guys at all, so that'll make it the eldar turn. These guys aren't going to move or shoot. They really can't. I mean, I guess they could shoot. The Wraith Lord could probably shoot at one of these two guys, so I guess he's going to do that. Alright, so the Wraith Lord actually did manage to do a lot of damage to this guy. Almost killed him. He's still alive though. The Eldar are not going to be charging anybody from their high tower. And that'll make it the AdMech turn. So movement. Alright, so the AdMech have some really decent penetration now. The Rangers are up on the hill here. Belisarius is about to go in the castle. Vanguard are also up on this hill. The Ruststalkers advanced to get up to this top tower here. The Dominus is just getting a little bit closer. These guys are just going to hang out and keep shooting at the Wraith Lord. And our castle and robots made it inside the castle. And they'll start making their way up next turn. That'll take us to the shooting phase, which is just going to be these two taking pot shots at the Wraith Lord again. So I was talking shit about the dice, and of course they decided to show me up. So they rolled really, really well. Even being in cover, they still managed to kill it off. That makes me sad. But, you know, for the AdMech side, that does mean that these guys can try and charge the spirits here. So we're going to give that a try. Somebody's got to make it up there somehow. Alright, so they absolutely did not make their advance. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Makes it the Eldar turn. Since there actually are units up here, that means they actually get to do fun stuff. They're not going to move, but they are going to do some psychic stuff. The Farseer is going to do Executioner on the Ruststalkers. It goes up on a 7. Did in fact roll a 7. Does D3 damage. Only one. One of these guys goes down to 1. So they're going to try and do Fortune on the Dire Avengers. Need a 7 for that one as well. Got a 9. Dire Avengers now get the 5-up, feel no pain if they fail their saves until the next psychic phase. Yeah. Eldar shooting. Everything's going to be shooting at the Ruststalkers, so hopefully they can kill them off. So the Dire Avengers managed to kill off the Ruststalker that they had wounded previously. And yeah, that'll make it the charge phase. So the Dire Avengers are going to charge into the Ruststalkers. So the Dire Avengers definitely made their charge. They managed to kill one of the Ruststalkers off, but unfortunately, The two remaining Rustalkers killed 4 of the Dire Avengers. Everybody passed their morale for this turn, so nobody runs away. But it is the AdMech turn. So movement. Alright, so the Rangers here have advanced to get up here. The Dominus got on the hill. These guys are just going to hang out here because they can kind of sort of see the spirits here up there. The Cataphan Breachers and Engine Seer are slowly making their way around. Vanguard are up on the hill. Belisarius has made it inside the castle, and the Castellan robots are headed up. Which will take us to the shooting phase. Alright, so it took everything these guys had. But they did manage to kill the spirits here, eventually. They could barely see it, so it got the cover save, so... Eldar dice are actually rolling good toward the end of the game. I don't get it. The charge phase... These guys advance, so they can't charge. These guys are already in combat, so they're just going to fight. So the Rustalkers did annihilate the Dire Avenger Exarch that was left alive. So that just leaves the Farseer. It is his turn. He's not going to move. He'll do execution on the squad that's in front of him. Sad face. That's only a 5. I don't think he can do fortune on himself, so... A shooting phase? I think he's got a pistol. Yeah, no, he totally does have a pistol. So he totally does have a pistol, but he also has that singing spear thing that counts as a gun. He did kill off one of these rangers here. So, the charge phase, I guess he's going to charge into the rangers. Probably die in a blaze of glory, getting killed by the butt of galvanic rifles. We'll see. So I'd forgotten how bad Skitarii suck at melee combat. So he did make his charge, he took a point of damage in Overwatch. He managed to not really do anything important. He didn't actually kill anybody. And they did another point of damage to him, so that was kind of weird and dumb. Which will make it the AdMech turn for movement. Alright, so I didn't really move anybody else on the ground for the most part, because this is the only guy that's left. The Rustalkers just moved down to get closer to absolutely make their charge. And the Tech Priest Dominus advanced up here so that he can take charge of the suspicious technology thingy. So yeah, that'll make it the shooting phase. Tech Priest does have a gun, so the Dominus actually did a point of damage with his macro stubber. That's kind of cool. So the charge phase then, which will be the Rustalkers into the Farseer, and then the regular combat that he's already engaged in. Alright, the Rustalkers made it in, and he did indeed die under the clubbing gun butts of the galvanic rifles, so probably not the best way to die. Probably not many good ways to die in 40k anyway. Alright, so the AdMech win this game and they get to acquire their piece of suspicious technology. It's probably not an STC. If you made it to the end of the game, I do appreciate it. Things have been kind of weird lately, so getting games out has been also kind of weird. This was an 8th edition game, I believe, not a 10th edition game. I'll probably put that in the description. I mean, it's not hard to tell within the first 2 minutes whether it's 10th or not. Still not sure about that. But yeah, this was a fun time. Probably add this to another revenge game in the future for Eldar against AdMech. Hopefully I can get more Eldar. That'd be nice. Again, if you made it to the end, thank you a whole lot and have a great day.